broken. A check showed a little bitch, she smoking. Next thing you know, we chatting and laughing. So happy, what's happening? Little mommy got me open. See, I never met a girl like this. She's out the BS, plus she handle it. Stay up all night just to chat with me. My name's Nate, baby, very pleased to meet. Where we need to be. First stages of love. XOXO, bunch of kisses and hugs. And I got a blush, I ain't trying to rush. But boo, I'm trying to lock this cowling cuz. A bright star, that's what you are. Even though you oh so far. Players holler, she ignore. That's the reason why she my epic love. My Facebook love. She was my first Facebook love. My first Facebook love. My Facebook love. She was my first Facebook love. Was my first my Facebook love. She was my first Facebook love. She was my first my Facebook love. She was my first Facebook love. My Facebook love.
I can see you watching me move, licking your lips, wanting it all. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me give it to you now. Kiss my cherry lips tonight. Kiss my cherry lips tonight. It's just a one-night stand, you know you're doing it well. I'm up for anything, I know I'm doing it well. It's pure fun and delight, cause we both doing it well. Want you to touch me, grab my all through the night. I ain't no saint, but I'm doing it right, cause I know that you're all wrong, and we got all night. I'm feeling all heated up and feeling real alive. So come and taste these cherry lips tonight.
Alright guys, so we are in fact back with game number 2 between these two teams, LaG.TT and Team aiR. This time we are going to have our Zerg player from last game, Art of War, from Team aiR, currently up 1-0 in this clan war, spawning at the bottom as the green Zerg. And on the top left of Antigua Shipyard, we do have Rev Asian Dude for the team LaG.TT. So we're going to have a Protoss versus Zerg this time. Thank goodness not another ZVZ. Those are really, really difficult to cast because you never know who's going to come out on top, who's going to drone win. All sorts of stuff can go wrong there. So we do have Rev Asian Dude. Looks like he's going to go for a Forge Fast Expand. We'll have to see when he puts his Forge down. And it looks like he unfortunately does not know that this is MLG, or I guess he does know it's MLG, but might not know that MLG Antigua Shipyard is in fact cross positions only, as the latter version is not cross only, so players not too used to playing on the MLG versions of these maps, just the latter versions for the most part. And we do have Art of War taking his first gas at 14 supply, so it looks like we're going to have a 14 gas, 14 pool, most likely. And because Rev did not scout the Zerg player first, he is throwing down his Forge at 14 supply. Just now realizing that it is MLG Antigua Shipyard and that he should have scouted cross first, but that's okay. A lot of banter between these two teams. These two teams actually know each other very well. They're both SoCal based, and a lot of the players live really close to each other, so this should be a very, very mannered clan war. Excuse me. Terribly sorry. Alright, so we do have Art of War taking gas very early here. We'll have to see if he pulls off at 100. Decided to do some kind of Roach play. Decided to do some kind of Baneling play. I don't know. We're going to have to see what he decides to do with all of this gas. Most likely it's just going to be speed first, as most Zerg players would. And Rev Asian Dude is taking his Nexus here at 17 supply. Has not yet thrown down his first gateway. Is putting down a cannon though, and that cannon is going to cover the entirety of the Nexus from any Zergling play. Not necessarily roach play though. And we do have Zergling speed on the way, and one drone still mining gas. So Art of War, this is something he likes to do, leave one guy on gas so that he can continue his gas production just a little bit and be ready to tech if he needs to. Doesn't hurt his economy as much as if he had 3 on it, of course. So the Zerglings are going to chase this probe away, and that's going to let Art of War expand here. Around 20 supply. And we do have our first gateway down for Rev Asian Dude. And he is putting a pylon behind his mineral line here. So we should see a cannon somewhere in this vicinity. Oh, you're going to put it in his mineral line. Alright. First gas is up for Rev Asian Dude. And he is starting his second. So it looks like we're going to see a little bit of tech play out of him. Probably get out a couple of sentries very early. Help defend any kind of all-in. But it doesn't... Oh, we do have 3 guys on gas now for Art of War. So it is possible that we will see some form of all-in from him. And we do have a Roach Warren going down. So Art of War, cross-map positions, is going to be trying some form of pressure here against this Forge Fast Expand. We'll see. There are 2 cannons here, so we'll see if he decides to cancel that Roach Warren or continue with it. And it looks like he is just going to go ahead and continue with that pressure. Roach Warren not getting canceled here. Pooling a lot of larvae. He's got 4 larvae pooled. Another one set is about to pop. He's got a lot of free supply, only at 27 out of 42. And, yeah, when this Roach Warren finishes, we are going to see a lot of roaches come out here. Oh my goodness, and Art of War has pulled 2 guys back off of gas. So, this could mean one of 2 things. This could mean we're going to see just roaches come out, and then continued macro. Or, wait, I'm so confused. He just made another round of drones. Okay, so I'm guessing that he saw the 2 cannons and didn't want to all in with this. He is making 4 roaches now. Oh my goodness. And yeah, I was gonna say because he pulled so many guys off gas, it could have been a macro play after that, or it could have been a bunch of roaches into just pure speedling, and using all of that income to make more speedlings. But we are gonna see just a little bit of pressure from these roaches here. Only 5 of them out, so probably going to do something like try to pick off this gateway, kill some zealots off, and force Rev Asian Dude to put up more stuff than he would like to. 3 additional gateways coming up for Rev Asian Dude here, and he is making a 3rd zealot. These zealots not going to fare too well. Typically people make a lot of zealots to just try to apply some pressure lightly to their Zerg opponent, usually with 2 gateways though. But with 5 roaches on the map, I mean, these zealots are just going to get kited all the way out, and I cannot believe he's bringing 2 drone or probes along with this. This is really weird. Maybe a misclick, maybe wanted to put a couple of pylons up, because Warp Gate is almost done now. And he is throwing up a robo, so it looks like he is a little bit scared of these roaches here. Playing very defensively and reactionary here, as opposed to doing the build that he probably wanted to do. Although he could have wanted to put that robotics facility up anyways. We do have Warp Gate complete here, and Rev Asian Dude actually making a sentry. So it looks like he's focusing a lot on the front here. Really needs to be warping those into Warp Gates. They are going now. And he may lose this gateway, but Art of War currently up 59 to 44 supply. Only a 3 harvester lead, so let's see if we have any reinforcements on the way. No, we in fact only have drones in production with queens. So, he's taking his 3rd now. Supply is evening up very quickly now that Warp Gate is done. And, yeah, there's not too much Rev Asian Dude can do right now. Oh, he's actually walled off his stalkers from getting out. And is this another... Okay, there is a gap there. And these roaches decide to back off and go home. They are going to probably get chased down by the stalkers. I guess not. I guess they are going to get home okay. So, excuse me again. Art of War is making a Spire now. And 12 Zerglings and a few more drones here too. So, playing pretty defensively, making units still, even though he is going to be relatively safe. It doesn't look like we see any form of all-in coming here, as we only have 4 gateways, well, 3 gateways now that this one went down, and a robotics facility, with actually a warp prison coming out, so very interesting. Seeing roaches, I would think that we would see an immortal, or possibly an observer. A little bit weird. Art of War, oh, wow, this is something you don't see very often. We have Overlord spreading the creep from the 2nd to the 3rd. Just to get that creep spread out a little bit faster, help his queen get across. And this Spire is 3/4 of the way done now, and with robotics tech, actually, Rev Asian Dude is probably going to have a harder time holding this than if he had gone Templar Tech or something of that form. So there are 4 sentries in this Warp Prism, actually. There is a changeling in that army, so Art of War definitely saw that. Is sending his roaches back to that side. Should be able to hold this pretty easily because he does know it's coming, and his Spire is actually done. So we're probably going to see a number of Mutalisks come out here. Art of War with really good map control right now. Has left side with a number of Overlords. Top not so much, the right side kind of. And the tower in the middle, so he did see this coming. Does have his 5 roaches over here. He is getting +1 Mutalisk attack and 9 mutas at the same time with roach speed. So a lot of tech going down, a lot of units being made, and these mutas are going to have perfect timing basically. They should immediately turn this direction. Art of War not hockeying these units before they come out, it seems. I'm not sure if that's a common thing. That's something I do though. Hockey my units in the eggs so that when they pop they're already in the group. But he is moving all the way across the map now, and there are 6 warp gates, a number of stalkers, no Twilight Council, no cannons in the main, and these stalkers are going to have to walk all the way around to get back into the main. A lot of probes are going to go down here. We do have 9 workers killed already for our Zerg player. Now 10 or 11, 12, and stalkers are getting warped in, but they're just going to get pretty beat up by these mutas. He does kill 1 before deciding to leave, not losing a muta yet, making 6 more now. Warp Prism over at the 3rd. Looks like I missed a little bit of action here. But he's going to warp in nothing. And I actually can't believe the mutas are coming over here. It looks like he's looking for the Warp Prism, doesn't know where it is. He should find it here. It does not really come into the Zergling's vision that long. The mutas are on an intercept path though. Oh, and Art of War sees it. Rev Asian Dude gets caught in the open with 4 sentries in a Warp Prism. Is going to lose the Warp Prism and then probably all 4 sentries here. And oh my goodness, that was 400 gas, 400 minerals between the Warp Prism and the 4 sentries. And probes just now resaturating the main. So supplies currently 145 to 100 in Art of War's favor. 62 to 44 workers. And Art of War even feeling comfortable enough to take the gold. Doesn't have the middle of the map anymore. Definitely should make sure he gets a Zergling on that. And take a look at the unit count real quick. We have 21 Mutalisks, 5 Roaches, and 42 Zerglings out for our Zerg player right now. Rev Asian Dude defending his natural with units that can't really hit air as much. With 5 cannons? Oh my goodness. That is a lot of cannons. And actually, Rev Asian Dude can't even take a 3rd right now. Doesn't really feel comfortable doing so. Shouldn't feel comfortable doing so because that is a lot of mutas on the field. And he's finally getting Blink so that he can get a little bit of more mobility out of his stalkers to help defend against these mutas. But we should see, well, we do have a Templar Archives coming down. And that's going to allow him to get Storm to defend off the Mutalisks and maybe even make Archons, which are very good against clumps of mutas, which mutas tend to do very naturally. So Stalker's actually coming over, getting a lot of these mutas. Oh my goodness. That was devastating to see. This is actually an incredible number right here. Only 11 units lost for our Zerg player so far, but that's 1,750 minerals he's lost. Rev Asian Dude trying to take a 3rd now that Blink is done. Not going to happen though. A lot of Zerglings, a lot of mutas over on this side of the map. And actually, these Zerglings only have +1 attack. He's getting +1 ranged attack now. As well as Overlord Speed, Burrow, taking the gases at the gold. Has even taken a 5th now. And you know, Storm is finishing up, and that can do a lot of damage to these mutas. So definitely something that Art of War needs to look out for. I don't think he's seen any High Templar or the Templar tech. He has not, in fact. And this could be really dangerous for him if he clumps up like he is right now. And oh my goodness, these High Templar don't have enough energy yet. The mutas are coming over to snipe them before they get the energy. Definitely a great decision, picking off a sentry even back there. And running away with the rest of his units. Definitely lost a ton of Zerglings there. Only has 13 left. But in production, we do have a lot of units coming out of Art of War right now. 175 to 116 supply. 83 to 43 harvester count. And oh goodness, actually Art of War came back getting force fielded, losing a lot of units, but does have